Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Waga. We are going to continue with a series of videos on various views in SwiftUI. And what we're going to look at today is the text field, right? And the text field is, you have to bind it to a state variable for you to use it. So for example, we could come here and say at state, let me just spell it correctly, state private var, and we put in the text field like so. And yeah, we put in the text field like so and put in some space there. And after that, we're going to have a VStack, which will contain a text and our text field. Our text will tell us what this is. We could say our text is going to be text field. The F is capitalized for some reason, the text field. And we're going to add a font modifier here of large title. It's going to appear in the middle, of course. And yeah, we're going to add a font modifier of large title, just that. And then now when we come to the meat and potatoes, the text field, like so, the first parameter you pass in is going to be what appears as a placeholder. So we could say here placeholder, like so. Let's just resume. We're going to say placeholder here, and the text we bind it to is going to be this text up here. So we're going to say $ text field, like so, and we could give it a bit of style by saying text field style, and the style we're going to give it a rounded border style, like so. So when we do that, we should see our text field. Okay, and you see the placeholder here. We could add an S so that you can see it. Placeholder. So the placeholder. This is how. That is how you would build a text field, right? So it's pretty basic. Now we're going to look at the various options and modifiers and how you can improve it from just the basic text field. What we want to do is to decide where to place the text, whatever text you're putting in the text field. You can leave it leading, we can make it in the center, or we can put it in trailing. Trailing is on the right, leading is on the left. So for example, just to show this, I'm going to put an actual text in our text field. So we could say, let's call this data, like so. And we resume, we'll see data here. We'll see data. Now, what we would do is, if we want to move it around, we would come to, after the text field style, just as a modifier on the text field, we say dot multiline alignment, and we could have leading. It defaults to leading, so you won't see any change. So this is leading. Let's put center. You see the data has moved to the center. And if we put trailing, bingo, it goes to the right. Now, the next thing we could do is you could change the font size of the text field or whatever is in the text field. And how you would do that is simple. Just treat it like a font. Like add a modifier to do that. Let me just come here. Okay, it's acting up. We could say dot font, like so, and we say, let's give it a large font size. Let's say font.system. And the size is going to be, let's say 24. Size is going to be 2, 4, like so. And you could also give it a font. We could give it a design, right? We could give it a design. I was going to say font design. We could say, is it monospaced? What's it? Monospaced. Oh, it's supposed to be dot monospaced. That's why it's not helping me out. Dot monospaced. So you see, we have the data looking, I'm guessing this is monospaced. So if you want to change the size, we could make it, let's make it 30, and we'll see it grow a bit bigger. So yeah, so you could modify, if you just want to modify the text size and the font, it's just like a font. So you could modify it like that. And the next thing you could do is you could add, supposing you want to add an outline on it, right? And I think the best way to add an outline first is to add, is to put some padding so that it doesn't stick to the edges. So now we can see it clearly. Now supposing we wanted to add a purple outline. Purple is our favorite color here. So how we would do that is we would use an overlay, dot overlay, like so. And in the overlay, we are going to use a rounded rectangle. We could use a rounded rectangle, like so. A rounded rectangle, and in the rounded rectangle, we could give it a corner radius. And the corner radius we could say, let's say 10. 10 is a good number. I'm guessing. And we are going to give it a stroke, and the color is going to be color. We could say Stroke is going to be, wait, no. Stroke is going to be color dot purple, like so. So we make the color purple, and we give the line a width of, let's say 4, like so. So let's just see it on our simulator so that you can see it a bit better. Give it a second. It's starting from a cold start. So you see, we still have the data on the trailing. So we have given it an outline by you add a shape behind it, and then you use the usual modifier. So this is how, for example, you make it colored like that, right? And another thing we could do is maybe we want to change the what's it called, the color of the font, right? And for that, you would need to add, of course, just like text, you just add foreground color, the foreground color. And the foreground color, we could say we want the color to be pink. Let's say dot pink, right? Dot pink. Let's resume, and maybe this will change to pink. Yes, so we see it looks like red to my eyes, but apparently this is pink. So to make it pink, you just add the foreground color and it changes like that. Now, the next thing we might want to do, for example, we might want to put, let's change this to, let's call this male, like so, male like so. And yeah, we might want to put an image or a view inside this. For example, you want to put like an email icon here. So that, how would you do that? So that you can, it's a very common and popular style where you put like an icon inside the text field. And for us to do that, first things first is we would need to wrap the text field in Hstack. And because an Hstack is horizontal, right? And sorry, that's my timer. And we want the email to be side by side with the text field. And for us to do that, we would come here and hit command, click command, and we would say embed in a Hstack. And after that, we would put an image, and we're going to use an SF symbol. The system name is going to be, what's the system name? The system name is envelope. Envelope, I had written it down somewhere. So when we do that, and we try again. Oh, it's supposed to be a string, sorry. This is supposed to be a string. So we pass in envelope, and yeah, we should see an envelope, but the envelope is outside here. So if you want the envelope to be inside, that is supposing you want to put it outside the text field. If you want the envelope to be inside the text field, how you would do that is you would come here and cut out all the non-text modifiers, right? Like the overlay. We put the overlay on top of the entire Hstack, and the stroke and the round rectangle and the padding outside the entire Hstack, and we could cut it out and come to the end of the Hstack and put the modifiers there. So the modifiers will be applied on the Hstack. Now when we put the modifiers on the Hstack, you are going to find that our envelope does appear inside. Let's give it a bit of padding. Yes, our envelope does appear inside of our text field. So this looks a bit, in my opinion, a bit better. And you could change this to whatever you want. You could put some other. You could just go through, look at the SF symbols, pick. You could say not, font, fill, whatever, and put whatever you want in the text field, right? Yeah, that's how you do it. And the next thing you could do is you could decide, for example, which keyboard you want, right? So in this same text field, we could add a modifier here at the end. Let's come here and say, what modifier do we want? We want keyboard type. Keyboard type, right? And the type is going to be UI. I'm guessing this comes from UI kit. UI key, we could say UI keyboard type, and there are various options. There's alphabet, SCI, decimal pad, email address. We want ours to be email address, like so. So basically, I don't think I've set up I like typing into my simulator. I don't want it to be, oh yeah, it does, okay, it does. Yeah, so basically we see this is our email, keyboard. And okay, we shouldn't have put in the mail here. You see the @ sign. We could play around and give it another type of keyboard. And another type of keyboard we have is the decimal pad. Let's say decimal pad. Decimal pad will be numbers. So if we rerun this, we should get, when we click on it, we should get numbers, right? Yeah, we should get numbers. The other one is alphabet, SCI capable, the default. There are various options, and you can go through them and decide which one suits your decimal. Oh, these are all the ones that are available. So you could decide and offer which one you want to use. Let's leave it as default for our case. like so. Wait, let me just click on it. Okay, default. Okay, fine. And another thing we could do is we could disable autocorrection. Is it autocorrect or autocorrection? Disable autocorrection, and we could say true, like so. So those are some of the options you could add to your text field, right? And yeah, basically that. So that's all I have to say about TextField. There are more options. You could even disable the entire text fields, but I don't see how that is useful. And you can always check the documentation for more options to do with text fields. As always, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have more content like this coming up, and leave a comment in the comment section if you have any. I will see you in the next video.